a lot of these people might want to go pro, but then they might just end up working in esports, and they might find like a job in some other field. Maybe they'll end up being a teacher or something. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of like you could even argue that these people were made for that. Whatever you end up doing, is what you were meant to do. The ranking system. League is a pretty strong ranking system, especially when compared to CSGO. What I think lacks in League, though, is a full 5v5 team versus team. It used to have that. I know Clash is a thing, and it looks fun. I would keep that, but I still want to be able to queue with a full rank of 5 players and climb as a team anytime I want. The team would have the team would have the ranking, not the players. I'm sure it's fun to climb by yourself or when a friend's with a solo duo, but since the game is 5v5, I like to see a good ranking system in place for 5v5 separated from the solo duo. Please, I do not like flex queue. It feels very random and casual. No one tries to join in flex queue. You don't represent a team, and the rank doesn't affect your own rank. I hate it. So League actually used to have a 5v5 team game mode, and I think they removed it because I don't think anybody was playing it. It's up for debate whether it's going to be more active in a game like an FPS game. I know people queue into Counter-Strike very frequently with a lot of people, but we'd really have to wait and see. If they do add something like that, I think it would be interesting. I do like the Clash game mode to be implemented, though. I think I prefer Clash over a 5v5 team setting because it gets people to actually organize their team and it sets a specific event. When you get something like a 5v5 game mode where people could just play it, it doesn't really feel like you're preparing for anything. It feels like you might be trying to climb in rank, but then it gets really stressful. You have people arguing with each other. It seems like the dynamic that is built with Clash, at least from what I've seen with my friends, is that maybe people do get frustrated, but afterwards they finish a game and they analyze what went wrong in that game. It feels like there's a tournament every other week. You know, you start practicing with this team. You start playing in flex maybe to practice. You start playing in normals or whatever. It feels a lot more centered around the improvement and less on just grinding and like trying to rank up, you know? I don't think that any team is going to be seen climbing the ranks and then just all get signed immediately in League, and especially not in this game, right? You don't sign a team generally. It feels like you sign a players looking to create a team. Maybe I'm entirely incorrect on that. Maybe teams do climb up with like groups of friends, but it's just always been my belief that like the likelihood that you will have 5 friends who are good enough to go pro is so low. Like the likelihood that you have 5 friends currently that you can queue with that will carry you to professional play is very like just low. Most of those players probably aren't cut out for it. 1 or 2 of them might be, but like all 5 of them are actually good enough to be a professional player. I don't know. It's not likely. Generally, you need to outsource to that kind of stuff. You need to be able to like find people who are like within your ranks and like look in that direction. You need to find like I don't know. That's just my belief, right? Yeah, like Notice. I don't know, is Notice a player? Or? Notice there, or yeah, like Noted. Yeah, like that. I really want to grind towards Challenger. I think it would be cool to grind towards Challenger, but yeah, that's where you find players, right? You look at the top ranks, and you like pick people out, and you like sign them to a team, or you have them build their own team. That's another thing that people do. But like to just find your friends and like try to like queue with your friends up from silver up until professional play. It's very unlikely, right? Especially like people queuing from like low ranks, right? So I'm never the type of person to count somebody out. I'm not gonna tell somebody, hey, you have no chance of going pro. That's just not me. It doesn't it doesn't matter to me if you're like a silver player or if you're like a master tiers player or whatever. If you are a silver player and you want to go pro, I think that you are able to work towards it. You're gonna struggle. It's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy, obviously. But I think that you could teach yourself the things that other people have taught themselves. Everybody who's gone pro is just a person. They're not amazing, right? It is a game. You have to figure out what you're doing and how you're going to focus towards it. But the likelihood that you have the same drive as somebody else on your team to go pro, I think is very unlikely. Even if people are like, dude, we're all in the same grind. Generally, there's one person on the team who's putting in more work than the other one. It's just a thing. And like to be focusing on going pro, you need like the likelihood that you are going to have people within your friend group right now who all want to do that is very unlikely. It really is. I'm not proud of the way I am, but I am very ultitarian. If a team starts to weigh me down, I just find another team. That's how you should be. And like obviously I wouldn't go around being like, dude, I move on. If people are on my level, then people don't deserve me. You know, obviously like don't act like that. But it's just like you got to look out for yourself. You are the only one that like I don't know. This is aggressive, but like you are the most important person in your life. You are. Other people like they shouldn't matter to you as much as yourself, right? I don't think that's selfish. I think that's just realistic, right? Everyone, you should be your number one priority. You are the only one who you experience yourself in your shoes. Obviously, you can do good things for other people. I'm not saying that like that. But I'm saying that if a team is holding you down and you actually feel like they are, go find another team. Do what you need to do to reach the goals that you want to. That's kind of what I've done with streaming for a long time too. Like I don't know, like obviously I've been like involved with like a lot of stream groups and like I've like supported a lot of people. But the reason I don't join a stream team is because I know that most people at like my level of streaming are not like as ambitious and like they don't think about their content the same way that I do. Which I don't know. I don't mean that like an egotistical way. I just mean like realistically speaking, the barrier for entry for streaming is so incredibly low. Anybody can get into it. Same thing for professional gaming. Anybody can buy a game and like start playing it, right? There's not really anything that like prevents you from doing that. So the likelihood that you're gonna have a lot of people who aren't like as ambitious as you in those goals is very high. My drive is insane. My friend said after your placements, you're not making it to gold. Now, gold Nova 1. Played CSGO for 39 hours, got gold Nova 1 after placements. I'm not full on moving on. If I have a big leap in skill really fast, I try to take others with me. But if I can't help the improve, then I'm moving on. You'll run into a lot of people too who it doesn't seem like they want to improve, and that's okay. It's like obviously like they're right as a player or like as a creator, but yeah, sometimes there's just not anything that you could do. And I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I don't like obviously people are gonna have different callings in life. Like not everybody has to be a pro player. Not everyone has to be like a professional streamer or like content creator or anything. Like me and Simo were talking about. A lot of these people might want to go pro, but then they might just end up working in esports, and they might find like a job in some other field. Maybe they'll end up being a teacher or something. Like there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of like you could even argue that these people were made for that. Whatever you end up doing, is what you were meant to do. But yeah. Just recognize that a lot of the people who say that they want to do these things aren't cut out for it. Which is that's okay. I just hate when they say that it's just a game. Yeah, the whole ninja meme. It's just a game. It's such a weak mentality and stuff like that. I don't know. Thank you for the follow there, by the way, Sadness Machine. I appreciate it. This is not your first time here, actually, too. I know you were here the other day. I recognize the name. I think that's so cool when people like stop by like one time and then they end up stopping by again. I'm not sure if I showed up in your recommended or what made you stop by the second time, but I'm grinding the ranked ladder and work hard to get scouted along the way. Yeah, follow whatever you feel like is the best way to get there. Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting to see all the names of the Valorant community because anybody in the community right now is so early on, right? It is so early in the game that a lot of these people who are in the community might make it. They literally might. Like, these are the people who are the most excited. They are, like, the early adopters, right? So, I think that's cool. I see you on Twitter. Oh, you do? You just see me, like, tweeting stuff? I'm waiting for the next character reveal. So, they revealed Phoenix. When did they do that? Was that a week ago? Was that on Wednesday? What day was that? I think it might have been on Wednesday. They released it at noon. I remember that. I'm waiting for the next one. Okay. Let's find the next post. I love how tight the Valorant community is at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of people who like really know each other, and I definitely like that. Other than like I don't know, people just not really being supportive of each other. Even roughly, everyone roughly knows each other. Yeah, like a lot of people, it's especially like even if I talk on the Discord, people are like, "Hey, you're like the guy who makes the videos, right?" Like that's really neat. Are you going to just have fun on Valorant or something else? So I'm gonna be creating content on it. I'm not trying to go pro or anything, but I'll definitely be talking about the game. I'll probably keep doing like similar news stuff. I want to like interview people within the community, like we have been. Just talk to them about like their experience with things. Maybe when there's like different things added to the game, we could like bring people in and discuss that stuff with them. But aside from that, like I don't really know exactly. Maybe I'll do guides. I don't really know exactly. I'm a decently okay player, but I'm not insane. It's kind of hard to make Valorant content in my opinion. That's what I'm struggling with. Oh, it is hard because there's not a lot of stuff to talk about. You have to get really creative with it. That's why, like, and I don't mean this like just to flex, but it seems like a lot of people who talk about or create Valorant content are just doing like the same thing, right? Like if the Phoenix video comes out, everybody makes a Phoenix video. Like the name comes out, everyone's like Valorant name revealed, which is why like whenever I try to make these videos, I try to look for different things to talk about. Or like there's the stuff going on with Noted, and like that's why I was like, dude, like it would be really cool to get him on a podcast because like nobody's talking to this guy or like nobody's like really bringing it up. They're all talking about like information with the game and stuff. But let's talk about the community. That's what I really want to focus on, like building a community within the game. That's what I really like. I can't make content because I can't stand my own voice. You get used to it. I used to not like my own voice, but after a while, like I'm pretty used to hearing my own voice. Like it doesn't really bother me too much. I kind of like my voice actually now after it. I started doing karaoke too, and that kind of helped. So I would actually listen to my own singing voice, and that's way worse than hearing your own actual like talking voice.